Alright, now say something.
Welcome to 96.5, the Go Fuck Yourself.
Obey NWO. Welcome everyone to the NWO podcast. This is Abel, and joining me today, as always, is my co-host, the co-conspirator Parker.
Salutations.
No, CJ, that piece of shit. The NWO is where we're trying to take over the world by spreading the weekly pop culture news from across different genres, which include movies, comics, TV shows, or anything that we consider nerd. We're the NWO podcast, the greatest entertainment since 2017. Hello, guys. Welcome to episode 107 of the NWO. 107?
107? I thought it was 108.
Let me see.
Wait a minute. Is this CJ's mic?
Yeah.
No wonder it smells like Cheetos and shame. Poll question. Does CJ's mic smell like Cheetos and shame?
An asshole. Yeah, no, it's episode 107, so...
Okay.
Of the NWO, so that's a good thing. Let me adjust the volume there, because it was clipping. Okay. Yeah, no, CJ will be gone this episode.
Time keeps on clipping.
Into the future. Yeah, CJ went on vacation. He went to the
Butt doctor
to get it checked out, and it's going to take a couple weeks because he has such a big asshole. So this week and the next week, it'll be a me and Barker show. This week we'll I've already posted the theme of whatever it's going to be, and then next week we're going to do Birds of Prey because it comes out next week. So,
nice.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. So
I'm super excited.
Yeah.
You see the new trailer?
I did see the new trailer.
I think it's... Ewan McGregor looks really good at it.
Yeah. Like, I'm excited. We'll see. We'll see. So yeah, and the funny thing is, CJ always said that he wanted to be in Kansas City for the Chiefs Super Bowl. I'm gonna be in Kansas City for the Chiefs Super Bowl, and I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
so that's
Broncos fan. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I think he's gonna be probably the closest to the Super Bowl than anybody out of all of us.
That's what I was telling Jasmine. He's just gonna jump off and try to swim to Miami.
No, he's just gonna be the raft. Poll question: is CJ gonna be the raft for Super Bowl?
Gonna be the raft. All right. Barker does have the beer of the show. What'd you bring this week, buddy?
It's one actually. I really didn't know the brewery. I've never had it before, so this is gonna be a new experience for all of us. So since I forced you to drink the Patrick Mahomes beer, which
I have my Mahomes in my mouth.
Probably you hated your life for a couple days. We're gonna do one San Francisco style, So for all you 49ers fans, this is the Anchor Steam Beer from San Francisco. I actually had to kind of look up to see what actually type of beer it is, and from what it sounds like, it's an amber lager or a red lager. So,
if I were to do a blind test, could you tell the difference?
No. I mean, I'm not saying I'm amazing at beer. I'm pretty good, but do blind taste tests with a lot of styles of beer, it's really hard. You have to be about that life. And
first bottled 1975 Liberty Ale. Okay, well, bottoms up.
Bottoms up.
Go Niners.
Go Niners.
That's not too bad.
Really malty.
Mm-hmm.
It's from all that steam.
Is that how you malt a beer? Steam it? No.
But these are the pertinent questions that this podcast always needs.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But you're the resident beer guy. You should know.
I know. I should.
It's fine. I'm just kidding. You don't have to know everything about beer. I have always wondered when they mean distilled on the liquor, what does that mean? Do you know what that means?
It's where you take like all the grains and everything, and like all your flavorings and everything and you put it into this big like copper or steel like still. My bad. And then you just kind of like heat, pressurize it and everything and that's when it starts cooking. And starting to make the alcohol. So
when they mean triple distilled, they do that 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So the more distilled, the better it's supposed to be?
The smoother the flavor it's supposed to be.
Ah, okay. So like the house vodka or the whatever, that was just a one-time thing. They threw it in there and then they just fucking threw it in a batch and ready to go.
So like your Viacas, your Bartons, they filter it, like through like charcoal or for some people diamonds, which bullshit. Do you really think Grey Goose just has a shit ton of diamonds that they're just throwing fucking vodka over?
No.
I don't think so either. So, and that you filter it so many times. So, like, your Viaca, it comes straight out the still, and they're like, yeah, bottle it up, let's go. We ain't got time for this. Wrap it up.
You know how many bottles of vodka we can fit in this bad boy? And they hit the top of the
like
1994, the 1994 Honda Accord. Get it out of here. And that's how they transport all their vodkas, just in a raggedy old 94 Honda Accord.
It's one of those wood carts with, like, the donkey that has, like, 3 legs.
Oh, shit, that's funny.
Ball question.
Is that how they transport the vodka? What else? I was thinking about something else alcohol related. Oh, I'm sure you knew this, but I didn't know this. Grey Goose is American vodka? I didn't know that.
Yeah. They try to make it seem like it's French and everything.
Yeah.
But
it's totally distilled in, like, the Bay Area, coincidentally, so. Alright, moving on. Whitney started commenting on a couple things, but we're doing the show early this week, and I'm just gonna let him go all out, so we'll do it next week.
Oh, okay.
We'll go all of his poll questions or all of his comments from last week. So
just dropping the mega diarrhea, which is shitty comments.
His mouth diarrhea, just shitting all over the show. That's not bad, man. It really isn't. But
what, the beer or the mouth diarrhea?
The beer.
I'm gonna say both. I will say this. I actually do miss you, Shitney. Like, the show's not the same without you. So please come back. Please come back. One miss you, shit, Nick.
Oh shit, Nick.
My dog ran away.
Alrighty. Let's see. Next we have the poll questions. We didn't have a question of the show, so we just had a regular run-of-the-mill bullshit poll questions from last week. Does Whitney hate us? 100% said yes. Baby come back? 100% said yes. In high school, did you guys have to walk around protecting your balls at all times? 100% said yes.
You know what? Side story on that. I was talking to some of my kids that I work with, and they still have to do that too.
No, so it's a generational thing.
I think it's just what you do. You get into high school, and then you just start nut tapping people. That sucks.
Yeah.
That's not a life I want to live anymore.
It's like one morning you just wake up and it's like, I feel like I got a nut tap on my friends today.
Like before even social studies starts, you got to nut tap at least 3 people.
Do you want a Star Wars game called Star Wars 69? 100% said yes. Are they doo-doo heads? 100% said yes. Am I the only one like me? 100% said yes. Does Zabel's butt smell like coriander? 100% said yes. Fuck 'em, new listener edition. 50-50. Is it a kickstand? 100% said yes. As always, if you guys want to vote on our poll questions, follow us on Twitter and Facebook at NerdWorldOrder1, and you guys will get those random-ass poll questions. All right, we're going to keep this train moving. Chicka. With the Andres Loza Memorial Anime Minute. The Andres Loza Memorial Anime Minute. If you are a fan of One Piece, then you know the Straw Hat Pirates very well. The heroes remain a constant in the series even after 20 years, and their creator Eiichiro Oda has put them through plenty. Now it seems the team's next big adventure will be on a live-action variety, and fans will learn the actors tasked with bringing the Straw Hats to life soon enough. Recently, fans were caught off guard when a special message went live from Oda. The artist posted a message on social media which addressed the live-action show. Not only did Oda confirm Netflix will be the companies overseeing One Piece, but the artist teased fans about its cast. So there you go.
Crazy, man.
Crazy shit.
This whole thing is just rocking my world right now. Like,
you should see Barker right now. He's literally going insane.
I mean, Jesus.
He's biting nipples off. He's ripping his clothes off. It's
like
crazy.
Fucking bath salts right now. One Piece. What are you doing with my life?
We're like one piece of bath salt. All right. This weekend. Did you see what they're calling the F9 trailer? The Fast Saga.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
No. I'm not.
Are you not into the Fast movies?
After like 3, I was done.
Really?
Now you're just grabbing for cash.
Well, duh. But what's the last one you saw? 3?
Probably Tokyo Drift.
Really?
Yeah.
That was 3.
I thought that was 5.
No.
That was 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I guess
after Tokyo Drift, when they bring back
Vin Diesel.
Yeah, Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
I was like, done. Sorry, guys. That's a big no for me. So.
Well, I guess this won't mean much to you, but John Cena, he's in the trailer. He's in the franchise now. I guess he is Dom's long lost, Vin Diesel's character's long lost assassin brother. Like he's a.
All right, guys. Pitch right now for F9. Wait, we can't do the pitch yet. We need one more person that's really muscly, looks like a wrestler, probably is a wrestler. Hey, what's John Cena doing nowadays?
He's a movie star now, right?
Yeah, get him on the phone.
So it's funny you mentioned Tokyo Drift because Han died in that movie. They're bringing him back for this one. Let's see. There is no Rock or Jason Statham in this one, which there's a theory going around on the internets, on the interwebs, saying that, believe it or not, Fast and Furious 10 will be a Civil War style movie where it'll be Jason Statham and The Rock versus everybody else, because they're going to try to get revenge for Han, because Jason Statham's character is the one who killed Han, Han, quote unquote. So they're already thinking of 10 when 9 hasn't even come out yet, so we'll see. Charlize Theron is back. She was in Fast 8. And then Brian's wife, who is or was Paul Walker's character, his wife is in the movie, who's played by Jordana Brewster. So I'm very interested to see how they are going to write out Brian, Paul Walker's character, out of the franchise. So that'll be very interesting to me.
Aren't they supposed to be in space too?
That's what I heard, but from the trailer, it didn't look like they were in space. So,
I mean, where else do you go?
The last frontier, baby.
I was gonna say the last one. Didn't they like hijack it like a ship?
No, submarine.
Submarine.
Yeah. So it's dude, a nuclear warhead carrying submarine. So yeah, dude, they started off stealing DVDs and shit, and DVD players, and now they're like in charge of saving the world. That's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, they're not calling it Fast 9. They're just calling it F9, and then the subtitle is the Fast Saga, because it legitimately is a saga now. There's 9 movies.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to me always how exponentially crazy these movies have gotten. Like I said, it started off with like legit street racing, and now it's like there's an assassin brother that nobody's ever heard of, and they're like jumping off of cliffs and shit. And like in Fast 7, when they were in Dubai, they legit took a Lamborghini, or what it looked like a Lamborghini, from one skyscraper to the other one. It's crazy.
See, I remember the series Harley Quinn, where they're like, we're gonna fast 5 this. I didn't understand the. Okay, so that makes some more sense now.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Did you finally see the last episode?
I did.
How funny is that, dude? I could not stop laughing. Spoiler warnings, when they talked about, I got the brain cancers, and then it's like, oh my god, that's an aggressive form of brain cancer.
My blood pressure's that blood pressure is out of control.
I had to rewind the brain cancer part legit like 10 times. Because I'm like, dude, who thought... The writer who thought of that dude is a fucking genius. I have the brain cancers. I don't know how many days I have left. Oh my god, Grandma, that brain cancer's out of control.
No.
That show is...
No, the end. Like, I can't... Spoiler, sorry. But I can't believe, like, they make Bane, like, one of, like, the testosterone-filled, like, and he's just a big...
He's a big old dumbass, yeah.
I'm going to cut your cord. Very dull blade. I'll just bend it. And then the chair.
Yeah. And
you have to be more mature. Stupid chair.
He blows, and his thing is to blow everything up. The dude from the milkshake place or whatever kept calling him Bang. Yeah, it's fucking, yeah, that show is, if you guys haven't, we'll talk about it when that show's over so we can kind of get
We have to.
Yeah,
oh my god.
It's fucking funny, dude.
Like, DC hit it just right with Harley Quinn.
Yeah, another little part that I had to keep rewinding was, I think 2 episodes ago, when the plan was to get Killer Shark. No, not Killer, King Shark, to get him captured, and then go within the thing and, break in or whatever. And it's like, oh my god, a shark! And they beat him up, and then they take him to Arkham, dude.
It's like in a span of like 2 minutes.
Not even that, like 30
and, like,
seconds.
Clayface and Harley Quinn are just like sitting there, like jaws like open, like, did that just fucking happen? Okay, Plan B.
Plan B. Dude, that's so fucking. I love that show. Anyways, okay, moving on. Did you see who was cast? Or let me do this first. Wow. Did you see who was cast for Loki?
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson was cast in Loki. They don't know who he is yet, or what he's gonna play or whatever. But yeah, he's gonna supposedly a big role in the Loki TV series, and fans are speculating that's gonna be big enough where it's gonna translate to the movies. Because Kevin Feige already said that unlike the Netflix shows, that what happens in the Disney Plus shows are of consequence to the greater Marvel universe. So I don't know. It's cool to see what's going to happen. Particularly that there's rumors that Christian Bale is going to be in the Thor movie, and if Loki's going to bleed into that, that's cool to have Owen Wilson in that universe. So it's exciting.
Wow.
Wow.
Have you ever seen that video of like the cats and they dub Owen Wilson's every time he meows? Oh my god.
Have you seen? Her name is Melissa Villaseñor. She is on SNL. She does the perfect Owen Wilson.
Really?
Because she kind of already sounds like him a little bit. Like, hey guys, kind of talks like this. Yeah, you know, wow.
Oh wow.
Wow. I have a crooked nose. Yeah. Wow.
That was actually good. That was a good impression.
Thank you.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
All right, but yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
So I think I talked about it a couple weeks back, and what you just said and everything, that I think it's getting more concrete, and that like they're gonna do like Falcon Winter Soldier, like Disney Plus movie. So it's kind of like a zigzag that they're all gonna correlate later on.
Well, I guess
not directly, but like the Disney Plus will connect to some movie, you know, whether it be Doctor Strange connects to WandaVision, and then Falcon Winter Soldier connects to Avengers 5, and, well, I mean, all of them are going to connect to Avengers 5, but like you said, like Loki connects to Thor, Love and Thunder, or he could, you know, be doing something else. But
well, I guess the movie that's going to break the proverbial gates open is WandaVision, because that's going to lead right into Doctor Strange and the Dark Multiverse or
and
whatever.
I think it was Feige or somebody else said that WandaVision is going to be more important than any movie.
I've heard that before.
Even Infinity War and Endgame.
To the consequence of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think, honestly, this is a backdoor way to get... and I think they mean that because it's going to be a backdoor way to get everybody in the Fantastic Four, the X-Men. So we'll see. I'm excited. I like this new phase that they're going in where they're treating these miniseries as TV shows. So
yeah.
And I hope they are miniseries. I hope they're not like 3-4 seasons long. I hope it's like a miniseries, like one long ass movie, like a 7-hour movie, and then like, you know, then you can transition over to the She-Hulk and the Miss Marvel and what else were they planning on doing, Moon Knight and stuff like that. So I hope this is it. Then they do the movies, and then they do some more sets of TV shows, then they do some more movies, so on and so forth.
So you want it to be kind of more like Mandalorian style?
Kinda, yeah. Well, no, actually, Mandalorian's getting a season 2, so...
Okay, so like Watchmen.
Yeah, like a Watchmen thing,
okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
All right, let's see. Batman has officially started filming. There wasn't really any surprises. Warner Brothers officially released the cast list of everybody that's going to be in the movie, and to the surprise of nobody, everybody that was rumored to play in a role is playing that role. So Colin Farrell's playing Penguin. Paul Dano's the Riddler. Robert Pattinson is Batman. Zoe Saldana's Catwoman.
No, Zoe Kravitz.
Oh yeah, Zoe Kravitz is playing Catwoman. So yeah, they started filming, and the movie's supposed to come out next year sometime. So June 25th, 2021. So that's pretty cool.
Robert Pattinson said that he thought that he would never get another big role movie because he was doing all these indie movies. And I call bullshit on that. Like, I think with Twilight and like that last one he did, what was it called? It was him and William Dafoe.
The Lighthouse.
Lighthouse.
That was an indie film though.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, never mind then.
But I think he says that because, and let me rephrase that. I think he wanted to do more low budget indie films because he wanted to get away from that, because the Twilight movies were so big, like he couldn't take a shit in peace in public, you know what I mean? So he probably kind of recluse himself a little bit, and then now it's like, okay, now I'm ready to play a bigger role, and now he's ready to do Batman. So let's see. We've talked about the movie The Thing, the old 1985. I can't remember what year. We always talk about that movie with reverence. At least CJ and I do. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie. Well, the rumor is that they are making a new version of that. They're adapting it, but the cool twist on it is they're just not going to try to adapt the old movie. What happened is the original The Thing was based off of a 1951 movie called...
It's alive!
Oh, no, what was it called? The Thing from Another World. It's basically the same concept in Antarctica, frozen, they unfreeze it, all that kind of stuff. But that was based off of a 1938 short story, a short novella called... what was that called?
El Thingo.
Who Goes There? That's the name of it. But it was legitimately a super short story. Like, I can't remember how many pages or paragraph or chapters. But what they did is they found the lost manuscript of the entire story. And they finally got it published. You can go out and buy it and read it, or get it on the Kindle or whatever, which I want to do before this new movie comes out. So what they're doing is they're adapting this new movie from the original full story. So that's exciting. And it's going to be a combined production between Universal and Blumhouse. And Blumhouse is famous for Get Out, Us, what else? The new Halloween movie. So they are definitely very reputable in the horror genre right now. So that's very exciting. I love The Thing. I love the idea that this isn't going to be just another remake of the old 1980-something movie. And I am excited that they found the full story. I want to read it, and they're going to make a movie off of that. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that movie. So we'll see where they go. And then they tried to make like a prequel, like 5 or 6 years ago, because if you remember in the movie, they find one station that's completely abandoned. Well, that prequel's about that and how the Thing fucked with them first before they.
Really?
Yeah. So
Alright.
it's not bad. It gets a bad rap because it's not the Thing. Like, it's not as good. But
Well, I mean, come on now.
how many movies can be the Thing? So. But yeah, so
you can only do so much.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Does it have a date on it or no? No.
It is being it says here on my notes it's being fast tracked, and they're gonna try to get it done as soon as possible. So
Cool.
Yeah, I hope they give it some kind of a budget because I've said this on the show a million times. I'm a big fan of practical effects. So if they can make practical effects or a combination of both to where the movie looks good, I'm okay with that. So, all right, and they talking about a thing that doesn't die and keeps coming back. Transformers, they are.
Oh my God, no,
Yeah.
no, please no.
It's in development again with 2 projects, one by murder mystery scribe James Vanderbilt and the other by John Wick Chapter 3 and Army of Darkness scribe Joby Harold. So the 2 movies, the 2 Transformers movies they're thinking about doing is the Beast Wars. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one, and then a spin-off or sequel to the Bumblebee movie that came out like 2 years ago. So, and I haven't seen it, but I heard that was actually really good.
I heard that I heard mixed reviews. So one of my friends is a huge Transformers fan. He said that he liked it, and then I have another one who's kind of a on and off and everything. He said that it wasn't that great. It's like on the line with all the other Transformers movies. So
yeah, I heard it was the complete opposite. That it actually was, except that it wasn't just like a bunch of metallic monsters that you couldn't even tell apart going at it. Like this movie had heart and stuff like that. Yeah. So I haven't seen it. Obviously, it hasn't piqued my interest that much since I don't want to go see it or I haven't seen it yet. So, but I don't know, man. When I first read the headline, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? But then they said Beast Wars, and I'm like, all right. All right. You piqued my interest.
Go on.
Peter,
I don't know, man.
Peter, that's it. Go on.
So, as soon as you said Transformers, I instantly thought of the Simpsons meme.
Oh, yeah.
Just getting beat up, like, stop, he's already dead. Like, just, Michael Bay, come on, man. I know it's not him.
Yeah.
But can we just stop with Transformers for a while?
I agree, man. You need... Yeah.
Flopping that mistake of a penis on our face like multiple times.
A robotic penis.
Yeah.
Hey, Optimus Prime, look over there. Optimus Prime, no. That's Mark Wahlberg. Thank you.
We have to get the Allspark. We have to lose the Allspark.
We got it back.
We got to retrieve the Allspark. Where's the Allspark at?
Alrighty. That was the news of the week. Hey, CJ.
Yeah.
Do you love the NWO?
Yeah.
Do you like supporting things you love by giving them an amount of money so small that you wouldn't notice or feel leaving your bank account?
Yeah.
Then you'd be perfect to donate to the NWO Cause, which will help us create more content and become a better podcast. Is that something you like to do?
Yeah.
Then visit us on patreon.com/NoRuledOrder and give us a monthly donation to help us out. Or if you want, give us a one-time donation. Please go to our PayPal at NoRuledOrder2@gmail.com.
Yeah?
Yeah, and remember folks, obey the NWO.
Yeah.
We do have some Florida news before we move on to the main topic this week. In Florida news, Florida man known for viral Easter Bunny brawl arrested after hit and run tells cops to quote Google him. Have you seen that video?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he was arrested for a hit and run. So, alrighty, for today's main event, Barker and I, we're finally doing something conspiracy-like or urban legend-like. You know, I already picked out the theme song for the song. It's going to be the Unsolved Mysteries theme song.
Oh, yeah.
But it's one of my favorite things to talk about is bullshit conspiracy theories about movies or urban legends that so-and-so movie's based off of this, or, you know, so-and-so happened in a movie, so you have to believe it. So we're doing something very conspiracy-like, very NWO-y, and that is we picked 5 conspiracy theories in movies and stuff like that we want to talk about, and I kind of gave vague instructions whenever I put the show together.
Yeah.
So, and I did it on purpose to see what we can bring into the show. So yeah, we'll go from there. So let's see.
I was gonna say when you texted that, I was like, okay, so are we talking about like inside the movie or there's something? So I was like, well, he made it very
and that was on purpose because conspiracy theories are out there and stuff. So, and I got down 5, but in case we maybe cross somewhere, I did write some extra ones where I can talk about those.
I think maybe we might do 1. But I think that's it.
Okay, so yeah. And these aren't necessarily... I didn't. Did you rank them?
I didn't rank them, but I can do that.
No, I didn't.
I can do it on the fly.
No, I didn't rank them either. So we just picked 5 in urban legends or conspiracy theories that piqued my interest and piqued his interest as well. And we'll kind of talk about it, see if there's like any validity behind it and stuff like that. So I'll go first because I am the one that decided to do this topic. I think to kind of go off of... One of my favorite urban legends, conspiracy theories, is that in the what they call it, the Wizard of Oz Munchkin Suicide, is in the background.
Yeah.
After they pick up the Tin Man, they start singing "We're off to see the Wizard, the Wonderful Wizard of Oz," and then they're walking up the yellow brick road. In the background, if you see
off to the left, right?
Yeah, on the left hand side. For years and years and years, and people still believe it. It says that one of 2 things happened, but they both resulted in a hanging suicide. The first one is a Munchkin was an alcoholic and was depressed, and he hung himself knowing that they were filming. So if you see it, and I'll put a bunch of links and stuff so you can see these kind of things if we kind of if there's any video evidence to back it up. But you see it fall, and then you kind of see it swing a little bit, sway back and forth. The other one is that it was a stagehand, and it was an accident, and he stepped off of something, and he hung himself.
Yeah.
And that's what the urban legend is, the conspiracy theory. What the reasonable quote unquote answer for it, they said, is that they had a peacock on hand, and it was flying. So I've always been interested in this. Anytime I see this movie, I always try to look for it. Anytime they show it on TV now, it's edited.
Yeah.
But as a kid, like when I first heard that urban legend, that always piqued my interest because it's like, dude, there's a Munchkin hanging in the background, and that used to creep me the fuck out. And it's so weird. It's particularly we're from Kansas, so that's kind of the Wizard of Oz is part of Kansas history. So
even if you say Kansas, instantly everybody goes straight to that.
So in reality, in Kansas history, there's a history of the Munchkin hanging himself in the background. So, have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, so from what I heard is the people that worked on it, like the executives and everything, they said that it was supposed to be like hanging moss you know, like from trees and everything, that there's no trees around that. If you notice, there's a tree, an open part where we see the quote-unquote hanging and then another tree. So how are you going to tell me that that's hanging moss when there's no fucking tree to hang from that guy, or the moss to hang from, you know? And like you say, it swings back and forth. If it's a peacock, it's going to be like moving like sporadically, right? No, you just see this like huge, what you see is like a line, and then you see kind of like a kind of mass at the end of the line. And you can kind of see it does sway. I believe a Munchkin did hang himself because I don't think it's a stagehand. It's too small to be a stagehand.
I don't know, man. I would think that would make bigger news than that, right? I mean, I know that movie was filmed in 1930 something or whatever, or 40 something.
But back then, you know, nobody really like thought about it. Like nowadays, like any movie that comes out on DVD, there is somebody that's literally going through every microsecond trying to find Easter eggs or something. You know, one guy just was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do Wizard of Oz." Like, oh shit, is that a hang? I guess Elvis came back to life and is YouTubing. Yeah.
Hey, y'all see the Munchkin?
But am I not right?
I don't know, man. I want to believe it's something really fucking dark like that happened, but I don't know. I really don't know. It's just crazy. To me, it's crazy because I feel like even the time before Twitter and the internet, or even like fanzines in the 70s and 80s, I still think that would have been fucking like somebody died in The Wizard of Oz. I feel like that would have been a bigger thing than what it was. You know what I mean? And then somebody would have to kind of go through the set list and the cast list of every person that was cast in that movie, including Munchkins, and then see what happened. Like if there's any record of something happening after, you know what I mean? Like somebody would have to do I'm sure somebody has, but somebody had to do a deep dive.
You don't realize, well, maybe you do, how dark that movie really is.
Yeah.
Like not just the actual story itself. They said like the Tin Man, like the stuff that's on his face is lead. That's lead paint. Yeah, this guy's just going through the whole movie, lead paint on his face. Could possibly fucking die.
Not one that I picked out, and hopefully I'm not stepping on toes. I don't think it's maybe one you picked out. James Bond?
Nope.
Okay. There's one that says that one of the Bond girls was in gold, and it was not Goldmember, because that's the Austin Powers movie. The
Goldfinger.
Goldfinger. He had it. One of the main girls is like, I've never seen it, but is in gold the entire movie, and they ended up saying that she died from that. Because she was just like covered in paint the whole time, but it wasn't true because she was alive.
Well, and like the Cowardly Lion, like that costume, like.
Roll Yeah.
Yeah, like he almost died from dehydration. Mm-hmm. Like he had to be in that suit the whole time because it took forever to get on and off. Like dude almost died. Like a lot of people could have died on that set, you know, but they just swept it under the rug. It's a nice fairy tale, you know. They went through like horrible conditions and everything.
All right, so yeah, that's kind of the stuff I'm talking about. So yeah, and the explanation that I got from online was, quote, "What's actually moving in the background is a large exotic bird on the lawn from the Los Angeles Zoo. The urban legend started when The Wizard of Oz was released on VHS in 1989 and persisted over the decades until the most recent Blu-ray edition of the American classic reveals the myth is a false." So I guess I'm gonna have to see that movie in Blu-ray, see what they say. So.
Right.
All right, Barker. So, what is the first one you want to talk about?
Mine is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I've heard about that.
Where Ferris Bueller is not real.
Yeah. Kind of talk about it.
So, this conspiracy theory, I kind of read into it and everything. Makes a lot of sense. So, you've got Ferris Bueller's friend, Andy?
Cameron.
So, you got Cameron following Ferris Bueller around Chicago, doing all these crazy, you know, acts and stunts and everything, that trying to get out of school and everything, that. But if you look deep into it and everything, it's almost kind of like a Fight Club-ish type of thing, where Ferris Bueller is his like sense of wonderment, his inhibitions like leaving him and everything. Because I mean, the obvious point is, how do you have some kid just run onto a float and start singing, and everybody's cool with it? Like nobody's just like, hey, that kid shouldn't be on that float. Like. Maybe we should get the police to get him off and everything. No, everybody's just going at it, you know. And the other one too is that scene where what is the girl's name in it?
I don't remember.
Okay, but the girl that's with him and everything, that she's like, "Did you watch me take my clothes off in the jacuzzi?" You would think like that girl like would be freaked the fuck out. Her friend just saw her naked, but she was just like, Are you cool with that? I mean, did you see it? I don't mind if you do. And I think that's theory is that the girl is not Ferris's girlfriend. It's hers. It's his. It's Cameron's.
So who is?
So Ferris in this.
So who's the Tyler Durden in this?
Is Ferris.
Ferris Bueller.
Ferris. And then like at the end, with the car and everything, that somebody that doesn't have inhibitions wouldn't do that. But he's just like, fuck it, man. I've had a great day. I'm gonna, take my dad's car and everything. And then I think at the end when he figures out about the whole odometer thing, that's when he's coming back to life. That's when he's coming back to reality. Where there is no Ferris, there's nobody and everything like that. So.
That's a good one. I like that one.
See, I knew the obvious one with the parade one, but when I read into the whole girlfriend thing, I was like, that makes sense because she would have been freaking the fuck out if her friend just saw her naked and everything. But she was more like, well, you're my boyfriend. You've probably seen me naked before, so I mean, it's cool. So.
That's crazy. I like that one. So we like Pulp Fiction around here.
Oh, we love Pulp Fiction around here.
Have you heard the theory about what's in the suitcase?
I've heard numerous ones, so I want to hear yours.
That the briefcase in Pulp Fiction contains a soul. The Pulp Fiction briefcase contains a soul. The Golden Globe of Ving Rhames' suitcase was baffled many a fan. Well, fear not, because fansite pulpfiction.com has the answer. The suitcase is in fact the soul of Marcellus Wallace, sold to the devil for wealth and status. How? The 666 combination, biblical references from Samuel L. Jackson, and of course, Wallace's desperation to get it back. So the theory is that his soul is in the suitcase, which is the theory for him trying to get it back.
Yeah, and there's that one scene that he's on the phone with Jules right at the end when they kill Phil Lamar's character. And you see that he has like a bandage on the back of his neck. Mm-hmm. And so they said back in like biblical terms, in order to steal a soul, you took it out of the top of the spine.
Really?
Yeah.
I like this one because I like the fact that, and even if that's not what Quentin Tarantino had in mind when he was writing the movie, I like that you can go back and retcon it and like all the pieces just kind of fall in line.
Yeah.
And that's the fact that, and I like the fact that they never show it, so you do have to do your own interpretation of what's in the suitcase, because a soul is a hell of a lot better than like gold bars or money or whatever, I like the idea of a soul being trapped in a suitcase and he's trying to get it back, and that's the entire gist of the movie. So I like that idea.
Well, and they said like another theory was Inglourious Bastards. I can't remember what it was, but I think it's like gold bars that was in. No, that was from Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they said it's that suitcase from Dusk Till Dawn. But then they said there's another thing from Inglourious Bastards. That's what it is. That's in the suitcase.
Inglourious Bastards. Out of all the Quentin movies, that's probably the one I've seen the most. I'm trying to think. Suitcase. There's a suitcase that Christoph Waltz's character, what do they call him?
Well, it doesn't have to be the suitcase, but it's what.
Or like the equivalent of the suitcase?
No, it's just like the contents of the suitcase is what the Inglourious Bastards were trying to do, right?
I don't know.
I never saw the movie.
You've never seen Inglourious Bastards?
No, I do need to watch it. I do love Quentin Tarantino.
I've been trying, and maybe I need to get, because I have a document with a bunch of NWO ideas, and one of them is a Quentin Tarantino show. So I should give you guys like a full couple months in advance, and so we can all watch them. And then rank our favorite Quentin Tarantino movies and talk about them a little bit. That'd be a good show, huh?
I would like that.
Yeah, okay. We're going to do it. But yeah, no, I like the idea of a soul being in the suitcase.
Oh, okay. So it was the diamonds from Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs. And then they said for Inglourious Bastards was... I can't read it, so keep going.
Okay. What's your turn, actually?
It's my turn, yeah. Let's see, go back to my notes. This one I thought was really cool because if you kind of look into it, it makes a lot of sense. So in Jurassic World, Indominus Rex is part human.
I've heard that before, actually.
It makes sense. Like, they don't ever say, because they say, like, cuttlefish and all this stuff. But you got to think about it. That dinosaur is fucking smart. Like, smarter than any animal. The only one I could...
don't they credit that to the raptor, right?
Yeah, but come on, man. Like, how the scratch marks you know, on the side and everything. And then, like, when the helicopter's trying to get him and everything, that he distracts him with the pterodactyls. Nobody would think that. And then also, too, like, it fucks with a lot of humans. It doesn't just instantly kill them. Like, it fucks with the prey before, you know, that. So, that makes a lot of sense, man. Like, it does have, like, the cognitive reasoning of a human. Because I can't think of any other, like, animal that could do that. That would think, like, oh, this helicopter is fucking with me. I'm going to break this pterodactyl thing. It's going to, you know, make a, you know, distraction so I can, you know, get away.
I guess we're gonna find out more about it, right? 'Cause with the new Jurassic movie, whenever that comes out.
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that one.
But I think with that, too, it's just, like, in the movie, well, like, even if they did do it in the movie, like, the guy can't say it because I think that's, like, unethical, right? Like,
yeah,
you can't start putting
humans
and everything
dinosaurs
like that.
and shit like that. Yeah. So, The Shining proved Kubrick faked the moon landing.
Okay, we have one.
We have one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll talk about this one. Conspiracy theory. Well, actually, I'll leave that for you because did you want to get 5? And I got some extra ones.
No, I'll let you do it. I'll do because I've heard there's numerous things, so I want to hear what you say, and then I'll try to fill you in.
We'll do it with you because I wrote extra ones.
Okay.
Well, but you just went, so let me pick another one real quick.
Okay.
Toy Story 3 is about the Holocaust. Have you heard that one?
I heard that one. I actually saw that one right before I came here.
Toy Story 3 is about the Holocaust, according to Justin Hoffman of Ugo.com. Disney actually employed this firm, family favorite, to retell the atrocities of the Holocaust via a talking Mr. Potato Head. His evidence: Andy abandons his toys like the Allies abandoned the Jews. Buzz's sanctuary in the attic is an Anne Frank reference, and then there's the incinerator at the end. That's fucked up. That's crazy. Whenever I was doing research for the show, that's the first time I've ever heard that, and it stuck with me so much. And I'm like, I had to think about it, and I'm like, the first thing when I read the headline, the first thing that came to my mind was that scene at the very end when they're about to get toasted in the incinerator, and they were gonna fucking burn with the rest of the trash or whatever it was. And I'm like, holy shit! But then as I was reading the details, and it's like they were in the attic, and then Andy does abandon his toys, and I'm like, dude, that's crazy. I've never thought of that. I've never heard that. So have you heard it before?
Like I said, I was kind of reading some other ones on the way here, and I saw that, and I was like, that makes sense with, you know, Walt Disney not being really anti-Semitic, but yeah, with Toy Story 3, that would have been 2005, 2006?
2009.
2009, so.
I don't think it's about anti-Semitism. I think it's just more about, like, retelling the story a little, you know?
Kind of more, like, family-friendly.
Because I think if it was trying to be more on the anti-Semitic side, I think they burned the toys, you know what I mean? Or something like that, yeah. And, but I guess the parallels are there, and that's crazy.
Yeah, the parallels line up really creepily, so, yeah. That's insane.
Okay,
so I
I brought it up,
So I'll do The Shining. So, a lot of people thought that Stanley Kubrick faked the moon landing. Just by all the camera angles he has in the movies are very similar to the ones that you see in space for the moon landing. And then Danny in the movie has a Apollo shirt, and then he kind of does kind of like a rocket launch, not really a rocket launch sequence, but like how he kind of maneuvers. It kind of looks like, you know, a rocket getting set up ready to blast off. And then also the carpet kind of looks like launch pads from Cape Canaveral. Is there any ones that you...
I'll just read it exactly from what I got here. Conspiracy theories about the moon landing being a big ol' hoax go back to, well, the moon landing. If you honestly believe NASA filmed the whole thing on a soundstage, that's your business. But probably the wackiest theory out there is the notion that the guy who directed the whole shebang was 2001 mastermind Stanley Kubrick. According to Business Insider, silly as the concept of Kubrick's bossing around Neil and Buzz might be, probably the most intricate fantasy ever developed in the story of how this 1980 film, The Shining, is supposedly a veiled apology from Kubrick, featuring lots of clues. For example, some say Jack Torrance's mental breakdown symbolizes Kubrick's own guilt about faking the moon landing. Other hints include Danny's Apollo sweater or that room 237 is supposedly the number of the soundstage where Kubrick did the government's dirty work. Clever as this is, it's cleverly false. Well, that's according to the writer. Nonetheless, countless people have harassed Kubrick's daughter Vivian about it to the point where she finally went on Twitter to not only debunk the theory but to also point out that the whole thing is rather disrespectful to her father's memory.
So with that too, they've debunked that because the technology was not enough, or we didn't have the technology here on Earth for the lights like bouncing off the rocks and everything and like the perspectives. We couldn't do that in a soundstage back in 1980.
Oh,
or no, 1969.
Was it 69?
69.
No, it was before that because Kennedy was the president and he was assassinated and...
I beg to differ.
Oh, there we go. Here's Rusty Shackleford. It doesn't matter, but yeah, so whenever that was. And I don't believe that it was fake, but the one thing that's always piqued my interest is there's no air in space, but the flag is moving back and forth. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah. But then also, too, it's just like, who set up the camera?
I'm sure they did.
But then you don't see, like, footsteps.
See, they should have just waited to fake the moon landing and have Christopher Nolan do it, because he would have thought of all that.
He would have even had a Joker reference there, too.
Okay, have you ever heard of Suicide Mouse?
No.
It's fucked up. So what they said is, in the... I forget what year, what decade it was, but they were looking back at an old archive of Disney old Mickey Mouse cartoons from Walt Disney's early career. So they were going back and they were trying to do a compilation of the earliest, like Steamboat Willie and stuff like that. Well, they found one that is really eerie. It's Mickey Mouse kind of like walking like an old animation style across a rolling background, a rolling platform, and it's like blinking and stuff like that. Actually, I have to look up the exact quote real quick. But basically what it was, it's he says something about hailing Satan. Among these notorious legends is the claim that a brief looped excerpt from a 1930s Disney short showing Mickey Mouse walking down a city street has been proven to have dangerous mind-altering properties in its original incarnation. Under the file name suicidemouse.avi, the clip was reportedly uploaded to 4chan in 2009 and soon shared across a variety of social media. Oddly, there was nothing particularly disturbing about the excerpt, only that it had an ominous feel to it, due in no small part to the dissonant, twanging score which sounds like a detuned guitar, and the despondent look on Mickey's face as he shambles along and finally fades to black after roughly 3 minutes. But those who share it were puzzled by its seemingly nonsensical content and wondered if there was more to it. Finally, a new revelation surfaced claiming the full cartoon, of which we'd only seen 1/3, was extremely disturbing, allegedly causing feelings of extreme panic, disorientation, and even memory loss in some viewers. The new report, posted by a user known only as TR, claimed that the original Mickey short had been viewed by none other than film critic Leonard Malkin, who was considered including it in a remastered collection of vintage Disney cartoons, which was curating for a Walt Disney Treasure DVD set. Malkin reportedly requested a digitized version of the full reel, which clocked in at around 9 minutes and 4 seconds in length. When he screened the film, he was allegedly horrified to discover a series of increasingly strange and frightening anomalies. According to an anonymous source at Disney who worked with Malkin on the DVD collection, the reel begins the same way and does fade to black at around the 3-minute mark. It eventually fades black to the same footage of Mickey walking with the same morose expression but with no soundtrack. Then that's when things get strange. When the sound returns, it begins with a rhythmic tapping, then what the sources described as a murmur. It wasn't a language but more like a gurgling cry. As the volume and intensity of the murmur increases gradually, the background begins to shift in surreal and irrational ways, bending and twisting into a nightmare landscape. And then Mickey's expression begins to morph into an obscene sneer. By the 7th minute, the gurgling cry becomes an anguished scream. All this time, Mickey's face continues to warp into a Richter's horror. His eyes and mouth enlarge while building around and begins to crumble buildings around him begin to crumble and collapse and burn. By the 8th minute, Mickey is running frantically, his face twisted into horrific visage, while the screaming reaches a painful pitch, and Malkin, clearly shaken by what he'd witnessed, could watch no more. According to TR, one of Malkin's assistants was able to finish screening the file, which increased its pace for nearly another minute before Mickey suddenly collapses to the ground, apparently dead, and a large syringe of some kind can be seen flying from his grasp. This is followed by what some claim is a superimposed image of a strange, wild-eyed man, while others describe a large winged demonic figure similar to that depicted in the Night on Bald Mountain sequence of Disney's Fantasia. So yeah, it just keeps going on. So it's supposedly this like cult 10-minute video that Disney put together back in the 30s, and they're saying that assistant ended up committing suicide because he couldn't take the notion of it, and he offed himself. And I guess that's been circling around. It's been found that some people were trying to say that it's fake because they're saying that the animation style wasn't from the 1930s, but it's still very surreal to think about that if Walt Disney did something like that back in the 1930s. So next time you have time, I guess, watch Suicide Mouse Abby, and then.
Oh God, no! That sounded morbid. That was. I am disturbed now. You have disturbed me, sir.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
That got real. That got real quick. Now I'm gonna hate mine because mine's like the total opposite end of that spectrum.
Oh, here we go. And then last thing I'll say is the source manages to confront Malkin about what appears on screen in those final 30 seconds and says Malkin admitted he glimpsed the line of text at the bottom of the screen printed in the Russian Cyrillic alphabet. The text roughly translates as "the size of hell brings its viewers back in." The original Suicide Mouse Abby has been destroyed or otherwise buried, possibly by Disney or other concerned parties, and while many users have posted what they claim to be the original file, most or all are believed to be fabricated, such as this widely version posted on popular YouTube. That's the one I saw, so that's the fake one.
Okay.
While it's nearly impossible to prove whether the original film reel ever truly existed, TR insists that not only is Suicide Mouse Abby genuine, but sternly warns curious seekers to avoid any file bearing this name at all costs. Damn, that's fucked up.
That is pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
The only one that I kind of know about that is the Simpsons one.
I've never heard of that one.
So there is a lost episode. It's not really lost. It was right when Matt Groening was kind of like at his lowest point in life, and so he made a Simpsons episode where Bart dies, and so they're going through like this grieving process, and like the family's having like nightmares of like Bart's body like decomposing, and it's like it's still on point with like it's not really like an actual Simpsons episode, but the animation is like really low, kind of like right when they started, and you could tell it's just him just kind of
working something out.
Yeah, working something out and everything. But it's from what I've heard, like the movie, or not the movie, the episode. They've asked Matt Groening about this, and every time that they ask about it, he gets like this really like morbid look on his face. He's like he doesn't want to talk about it. He instantly like squashes it. He's like, we're done. We're not talking about this. And like people have been trying to find it. There's only been a couple of people from Fox and people that have worked with Matt Groening that have actually seen the episode, and they say it's very dark.
Really?
Like it's on that point of like suicide and like horrible drug addiction, overdose, and everything. So it's called The Grieving.
The Grieving.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
I read that and I was like, damn, like that sounds like when you ask somebody like about one of their things and it's just like, hey, what's about The Grieving? And like that person just starts not really like flipping out, but they're just like, I don't want to talk about like it sounds like it's really insane.
Holy shit.
So yeah, that and the Disney one probably are really
fucked up.
Yeah. So back on course. Yeah. Sorry folks, that went deep. That went dark and deep. I don't think we can get back out of that one. All right, so my next one, Toy Story, where Andy's mom was Jesse's owner.
I think I've heard that before.
Okay. So how Jesse talks about the girl and everything and the flashbacks, you see like her hair, and she basically has the same facial style as his mom. But the thing that points it out the most is Andy's hat, is a Jesse's hat from back in the day.
So it kind of came full circle when Andy found her.
Yep.
Okay. That one tracks, I think.
I think it does too.
Plus, it's funny you say that because I have another Pixar one. Because everything seems to be interconnected anyways. Jeez. Excuse me. Everything seems to be interconnected anyway. So mine is the Pixar theory. The Pixar theory. You'll need a fair bit of spare time for this one, but it's all there at www.pixartheory.com. Basically, one superfan believes all Pixar movies take place in one universe, and he connects the dots from Brave to WALL-E with his painstakingly executed Pixar theory. And basically, that each movie, and I've heard of it before, and I need to visit Pixar theory, but it connects all the movies because there's Easter eggs here that prove that this, and then something happened, that there was a transformation of inanimate objects getting like a sentient soul, which started with Toy Story and then ended in Cars, and then after Cars, the world turned into WALL-E. So yeah, it's a fucked up and crazy kind of theory, but it's on the same.
I've actually read this. I read it a while back, and I can't remember how they're all connected, but I remember it starts with Brave. Mm-hmm. It starts with Brave. Goes to Monsters Inc., which goes to Toy Story, which goes to Cars. I feel like I'm missing some other Pixar movies.
It's hard now because...
Yeah, but it starts with Brave and it ends with WALL-E. So in Brave, when she's talking to the old lady, there's a picture of Sully from Monsters Inc., and then from Sully, it goes to... Or from Monsters Inc., there's one of the toys from Toy Story in one of the rooms. And then Toy Story, the pizza shuttle? Mm-hmm. Okay, then that goes to Cars. And then Cars, because there's no human life.
Yeah.
So then that's where it goes to WALL-E. But I feel like there's other ones that we're missing in that.
Yeah, no, there's because you still have like Inside Out, and then you have like I think they ended up doing The Good Dinosaur and stuff like that. So I'm sure they have to redo the theory every once in a while. But I always thought they were interconnected anyways. Not to this level of detail, because when you see movies like Finding Nemo and stuff, you see
we forgot about that. Yeah.
You see the Toy Story toys in the toy chest at the dentist's office. And I always saw but I just never took them more just like cool Easter eggs. Like, oh yeah, of course they would have whatever. But for somebody to have a interconnected super web, the Charlie from Always Sunny in Philadelphia meme, so
every website I went to actually had that.
Yeah, it's a really easy.
Pepe Sylvia. I was like, Carol, I need to talk to you about Pepe Sylvia. You know what they say about that?
What?
Is that since he's illiterate, he was just saying the word Pennsylvania.
Pepe Silva. That wouldn't surprise me because they're so smart on that show. Pepe Silva.
Guys, we can't go in this room. Why? It's a Viper room. It says VIP, Charlie. Yeah.
No. What was the one where he goes on that date and he calls himself
full on rapist?
Full on, yeah.
Instead of a full philanthropist.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so that was my 5. You got one more.
Mine is The Dark Knight. And the theory is that the Joker is a war veteran.
Oh, I've never heard
I really like to hear this one because it makes a lot of sense. So, having a guy that can not only take out a security guard, like doorman and everything like that, you can go toe-to-toe with Batman, who is, like, stylized in martial arts and hand-to-hand combat, But then you look deeper into it, how he talks about, like, the scene where he, burns all the money. He's like, it's not about, the money and everything that. He's like, it's more about, like, skill and everything that, And then, just the way he's just a tactician. Somebody that's, psychotic like that, wouldn't put that much time and effort into it, you know. But all his like plans and everything that, and how he has like even like contingency plans and everything, like it just sounds like somebody from like a war, you know, getting PTSD, kind of having their mind kind of slip away, but still have that kind of in the front of their brain and everything, that to be that tactile, you know, and to have those skills and everything that to basically take down a whole city.
Yeah, I would never want to see like a well, you can't obviously with Heath Ledger being dead. And I wouldn't want to see like a prequel movie of that. But I've always thought that he was just more than a guy, because like there's no way that just some guy can do stuff like that. So yeah, it all tracks to me what you were telling me, like the PTSD, and not only that, but having the physical abilities to fight Batman, physically fight Batman. Because in every other variation, Batman always beats him. It's always the mind games and the obstacles that the Joker puts forth for Batman to beat. That's always the plot or the game or the movie. But as far as like a physical confrontation, it's never been the climax of the movie, because once Batman gets to that point, like it's over, like they can't. But there was some sort of physical altercation, and the Joker was able to keep up a little bit. So yeah, that always piqued my interest, and not only that, but like his ability to be more more technical, and be able to build bombs, and be able to do that kind of sort of thing, and low tech, you know, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so that's like a disenfranchised veteran that kind of felt
it's just like
behind.
the scene on the boat. Like that's not really low tech.
Yeah,
I mean, like the cans of gasoline, but I mean, like how to rig it and everything. That I mean, that probably takes like a explosives expert, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, no, that now you're telling me that the have you ever seen the what's that movie with Jeremy Renner in it? Where he's a bomb. He defuses bombs.
The Hurt Locker.
The Hurt Locker. He was in that universe.
Yeah.
And then like he came back to the States and he's just like fucked up, like, and then he became the Joker.
Right.
Like there you go.
That'd be pretty cool.
So interconnected. Okay, so those are we picked out 10. Obviously, there's a bunch more. Like people just sit here and do that all day. So let us know what are some of your favorites, and of the ones we've talked about, which one do you A is your favorite, and B do you totally believe?
My favorite out of both of ours.
Or yeah, out of all of them that you've heard, maybe you heard one of mine and you're like, "Ooh, like that. I like that one."
Can you say yours again?
I talked about the Pulp Fiction,
the Suicide Mouse,
the Pixar, the I forget. Here, actually, I should have it here.
Okay. I feel like the one I believe the most. Well, because the Pixar one is true. Because like they have evidence behind it, you know. I think the one.
Or The Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah, The Wizard of Oz. I think the one I believe the most is probably Ferris Bueller's. But my favorite one has to be the Wizard of Oz one.
The one I believe the most is the Pixar Theory one. My favorite one. I shouldn't say favorite, but the one that intrigues me the most is the Suicide Mouse one. Because I don't know if I have that sense of just like fucked upness inside me or whatever, but it's just like to think that somebody in the 1930s was willing to make a cartoon like that. That's fucked up, and that's creepy. Particularly because if you can that old style animation in black and white, like it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, for 1930s, like,
yeah,
that just sounds.
So yeah, let us know in the comments which one your favorite one is, and let us know if we missed any. If your favorite one wasn't mentioned, it's like, hey, you guys forgot to talk about the Poltergeist, urban legend, and conspiracy theory that they all died basically because they really did film the movie over an Indian burial ground and stuff like that. So, so yeah, let us know. Okay, we're going to get the fuck out of here. Next week's show, we're going to talk Birds of Prey. It's actually a movie that I've increasingly become more excited for, so we'll see. And you can always take these with a grain of salt, because anytime anybody goes to, like, one of those early showings or whatever, it's always like, I love the movie, but it's like, of course you love the movie and you're excited because, like, the movie studio invited you to go watch this movie, so you're gonna love the movie. Like, everybody leaving, like, Suicide Squad and what stuff is like, I love this movie. So
it's like going through like a 10-minute like PowerPoint presentation, but you get free donuts afterwards.
it's like, you know what? Not so bad.
No, it's not so bad. I get free donuts.
Hey, I love that PowerPoint.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we'll see. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, what are your order recommendations?
So I just started Crisis.
Oh yeah.
It's getting really good. I finished episode 1 Thursday. So I'm on episode 2. I'll probably watch it tonight after work. But yeah, episode 1 got me really intrigued. So I want to keep watching it and see how it unfolds.
Okay, perfect. Mine actually is I'm doing a thing where I'm watching a Oscar movie every day leading up to the Oscars, starting tomorrow, and then I'm gonna do a little thing on our little Instagram thing, little 2-minute video reviewing it, and then I'm gonna see which one's the best. So keep an eye out on that. So I've already watched 1917. I've already watched Joker, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So it's just posting them up. So yeah, just keep an eye out.
What all do you got left?
The ones that haven't come out on DVD yet, like
okay. The later ones.
Yeah, but they all came out on Tuesday, so I have like Parasite left, which I've been wanting to watch for a long time now. So I'll probably watch On the Road to with Kansas City tomorrow. We're kind of peek behind the curtain. We usually record this on a Sunday, Monday, but we're recording this Saturday afternoon because I'm going to Kansas City tomorrow and got a really late start to the day. I was supposed to clean the house, do all the laundry, and I haven't done shit all day. Besides the show, but the show's important, goddammit. But yeah, keep an eye out on that, and I will post them on the social media. If you guys have any suggestions or comments, let us know on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can find us personally on Facebook or Twitter.
Barker375
at Saint_Able45. You can find the show on Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, Lips, and Stitcher. Anywhere that you get your that you get your podcast. Buy some merch. I just put up some new logos, and I'm thinking of 2 more logos to put up there. So yeah, support the show if you guys like the show. Buy some merch. Donate on Patreon. If you guys do $10 a month, I'll buy you a shirt, and that'll help contribute to the show. I'm going to try. I always say it, but I really am legitimately going to try to revamp the Patreon to make it worth you subscribing and stuff, so we can actually get some of that money in. What I'm really hoping people donate to us is through PayPal. And it's like, hey, I really enjoyed the show. I really enjoyed talking about conspiracy theories, and here's $5 as a tip. We really appreciate that. All the money goes towards making a better show, new microphones, the computer, the whole thing. And it goes to help to produce a show, which we really appreciate. And as always, the show continues to be... those who like it really like it, and I really appreciate that we're growing an audience. And tell your friends. I feel like things grow by word of mouth.
Oh, def.
So yeah, tell your friends that you're listening. It's like, hey, these guys are assholes, and they don't know what they're talking about, but they're kind of funny sometimes. Tell your friends. We'd really appreciate it. And I think that's it. Do you got anything else?
I really like it when CJ's not here.
It's super quiet, isn't it?
It's super fucking quiet.
All right, thanks.
All right, we're out.
Thanks everyone for listening. Don't forget, obey the NWO.
Obey.